If you're looking for a way to stop smoking weed, then listen up. So I spent 16 years of my life smoking marijuana. I've been smoking since I was 13 years old, right? And throughout these 16 years, you know, I thought I didn't have an addiction. I thought it was just something I did to, feel good about myself, right? But as I got older, I always told myself, hey, like, this isn't something that I want to continuously doing. Like, I don't want to be smoking for the rest of my life, right? But I really never had a reason to actually stop smoking. Okay. So what's April? About 4 months ago, honestly, about 6, 7 months ago, I had somebody tell me that, they thought that it was holding me back from my true potential. And, I kind of just brushed them off. I kind of felt attacked. Like, why would you say that about me, and you're still smoking weed too? But I had to take a deeper look from the outside in. You feel me? And it took me a while to grasp it, but once I finally did, I realized like, damn, maybe this person is right. Like smoking weed could be hindering you from that big job opportunity. Smoking weed could be hindering you from, again, your true potential. And although we say it makes us creative, it calms us down, it makes us sleep, it eases our pain, our stomach pain, whatever the situation may be, why you choose to smoke weed, at the end of the day, it's because you're trying to cover up or hide something. Like you're trying to hide your true emotions. You're trying to cover up, how you're really feeling inside here, right? So once I got into therapy about 6 months ago, I really started to take on my problems head on, sober, right? And it wasn't ever easy. This shit was not easy to be almost 3 months sober, right? A lot of people have been asking me, like, hey, how did you stop smoking? Like, I need some tips, this and that. Like, I know I can't just cold turkey. Absolutely correct. I didn't just cold turkey marijuana, right? So when I say I was a habitual heavy smoker, I was a habitual heavy smoker. Like you can ask anybody around me. I'm talking 4 or 5 woods a day, right? And honestly, like it got to a point where I thought I was getting high, but I really wasn't. I don't care what type of weed you claim to smoke, za, exotic, gas, thrax, pressure, whatever. Like it's nothing anybody in this world can tell me about weed. I done seen it all. I done been there, done that. Okay, I'm telling you, stop smoking weed for 2 weeks and then smoke a blunt. I guarantee you're going to be high out of your mind, and it's probably 8 out of 10 times not going to be a good feeling for you. So that's, I started to slow down on my, smoking. I went from 4 or 5 woods a day to maybe 2, 3 a day. Then it got to a point where I started looking at my bank account and my money, and I'm like, Brian, well, I'm spending $400 or $500 a month on weed and woods and all this and that. So I was like, okay, well, only way I can figure out how to slow down is if I stop smoking woods. I was like, so let me start smoking cigarillos. So I started smoking cigarillos, maybe like 2 a day. And it got to a point where it's like I was starting, as I was in therapy, I was getting through my emotions, dealing with those, learning how to express my feelings and my emotions properly, and learning how to actually just feel the feeling versus trying to cover it up for a couple hours and then doing the same thing over and over and over again, right? So I started doing that, and then eventually I'm like, got to a point where I was like, do I really need this? Like, do I really need this to operate? Do I really need this to get through my day? And I told myself, I made a promise to myself. I said, hey, like, I told myself I was going to stop smoking January 1st. I did that. Came my birthday around, I kind of told myself this was going to be a test, January 24th, to see if I really was missing something or if I was just smoking the smoke, right? January 24th came around, I smoked. I was high out of my mind, paranoid, thought people was after me, tried to lay down, go to sleep. Mind just kept racing. I'm like, I don't like this feeling. So, not gonna lie, I smoked a couple days out, and I kept telling myself like, I don't understand how I got to a point of being this comfortable with smoking weed to the point where it's like it didn't affect me driving, it didn't affect me doing anything, but getting around other people, like they can't drive while they're high, they can't concentrate, they can't do a lot of things. So January 30th was my last day smoking weed, and I told myself after I ran out of weed, I wasn't buying no more weed, right? And I stuck with that promise. So January 30th came, and never haven't smoked weed since. And I had to honestly distance myself from a lot of people that, are my friends, and stuff like that. Still love y'all, still got love for y'all, but for that time being, I had to distance myself from those people because I knew I didn't have the willpower to actually be around these people knowing that they're smoking and actually tell myself no, and not get peer pressured into smoking. So I did that maybe for about a month. Once I got the strength to tell myself I don't need that, no, I don't care who I'm around. If it's in my face, I'm good. I started, hanging out with my buddies again. This and that and the third, and didn't smoke. Going out, people rolling up, trying to pass me, but nah, I'm good. This and that and the third. So it's possible, but I want to tell you the effects of not smoking after smoking for so long. The first night I didn't smoke, I got 45 minutes of sleep. All right, and my sleep pattern was all jacked up for about a couple weeks, right? It was hard to go to sleep because I was used to smoking right before bedtime. It was hard for me to go to sleep. All right. Then on top of that, I lost my appetite. I really wasn't eating that much, maybe one, possibly 2 meals a day. Still wasn't smoking weed or nothing, right? I was determined to stop smoking. So then after with that came night sweats. I was sweating so much in my sleep for like the first 2-3 weeks. Okay. And I just knew that it was a part of the process. All right. Waking up in the middle of the night, bed soaking wet, gotta put a towel down over the sweat to even like go back to sleep comfortably. All right. Um, Along with that, I started to slowly but surely start having dreams again. I hadn't dreamed in years. When I say dreams, like people ask me, like, you have dreams? I tell people I don't dream. I can't dream. Whole time is because I was smoking weed, right? Once I stopped about 3 weeks into that, I started slowly but surely having dreams. It was just like little bits and pieces that, um, like I really couldn't remember my dreams honestly, but I knew I was having them. And then slowly but surely, I could start to remember them. I could start to put them together. I could start to tell people exactly what my dream was about the next morning I woke up. So I did that. And along with stop smoking after about the first month, I realized that I had more clarity. My focus was better. I was more energetic. Like all the nine that you think is weed isn't really affecting, it is. And I don't think I'm better than anybody or anything like that. Like I don't try and knock people down who do smoke, like, because I mean, like I said, I smoked for 16 years. So what does that tell you about myself? But I don't think I'm better than anybody. I'm not knocking anybody who does smoke. I mean, you do what you do, but I knew I was holding myself back and missing out on opportunities and whatever you could think of just because I was smoking marijuana. And so I just want to let y'all know that it is possible. It's going to be tough. You're going to get peer pressured. You're going to, and I still to this day have thoughts about smoking. Damn, if I just smoked it, all my problems. That's not true. Just stick to the plan, man. Stick to the motherfucking plan. And then eventually you're going to look up and you're going to be like me, like, damn, I ain't smoked in 3 months. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't need weed. You're like I said, I had a clear conscience, more energy, more focus. Appetite came back. I was able to go to sleep normally, without needing weed. Like I'm able to go out, maybe have a drink or two without smoking. I'm able to go pull up on my homeboys, even though he's smoking, they smoking, without asking to hit the blunt. Like I could do that now. Like I truly can do that now, and I want y'all to know that y'all can do the same. All you gotta do is put your mind to it. You know what I'm saying? You can do anything you want to do. You just gotta put your mind to it. So stop thinking that you need this crutch to help you get through your morning, to help you get through your day, to help you go to sleep, to help you eat, to help you feel better. Because at the end of the day, you're not really doing nothing but hiding all your true feelings and emotions and thoughts and all that. Like, stop smoking for 2 weeks, and then you'll start to see the difference. Like I said, it's just not easy. It wasn't easy, and it's still not easy. But I guarantee you that y'all can do it. So I really don't want to talk too much. That's just a quick background on how I stopped smoking and the things that I did, the precautions I took to stop and make sure that I, don't revert back to those ways. But like I said, you gonna do what you do. You gonna hang who you hang around, but only you can control your actions. You feel me? So you can't say, "Oh, such and such made me smoke." No, you put yourself in that situation, right? Oh, I was so mad. I had no. You were so mad. You smoked. Like nobody made you do it, right? So once you can actually control your emotions, control your feelings, control your thoughts, Even though when you're angry, sad, mad, feel neglected, abandoned, whatever the situation may be, thinking about your childhood traumas, family issues, baby mama, baby daddy drama, whatever it may be. Like, you have to learn how to actually feel that shit, process it, and put it in the rear view, right? And keep moving forward, knowing that there's better days ahead, and smoking weed ain't gonna make your situation better. It may make it feel better in the moment, but then 2 3 hours later, you still have the same thoughts. Your life is, 2 3 weeks later, 2 3 months later, your life's still the same. Nothing's changing. I can honestly say, once I stopped smoking weed 3 months ago, my life has drastically gotten better. Once I changed my mindset and my attitude, not even just around weed, but with life in general, everything started to elevate for me, right? And I'm still not in the situation or the position that I want to be in, but I can tell you now, even 2 months ago, 2 months ago, 3 months ago, 4 months ago, like, I was I was not the person I am now, and my life wasn't going as well as it is now. And also, I forgot to mention how when I smoked weed, I was so very irritated, agitated all the time. I was snapping at people, you know what I'm saying, because I was anxious to smoke my next blunt if I was sober, right? To the point where, like, I push people away, relationships, so that's family, significant other, um, jobs, whatever you could think of, like, we literally was, it didn't ruin my life, but it was holding me back. So I just want to let you know, you can quit it and take control of your life back. All you gotta do is put your mind to it. But I'm out. Y'all be blessed.